I am back. That's right, I am back. Ladies and gentlemen, dorks and mother flowers, this is your NXT Takeover Toronto review. My overall thoughts on what was an enjoyable takeover, part of WWE's SummerSlam weekend. Now, if we're being honest, was this takeover, was it better than TakeOver New York, part of WrestleMania weekend of a couple months ago? No. Was this takeover better than TakeOver 25? Honestly, no. And I get it. A lot of you dorks are going to think that I'm shitting on this show. I can just see it now. Keep this in mind. I speak 3 languages. I speak English, I speak Spanish, and for all you dorks out there, I speak dork. I'm trilingual. I can see it now. Everyone in the comments saying, "Oh, Steve, how dare you? You're shitting on the show, you asshole, you fat fuck. Go fuck yourself and shit like that. How dare you, you fucking piece of shit." No, I'm by no means am I shitting on the show. Again, I honestly enjoyed myself watching TakeOver Toronto. Keep this in mind, okay? I've been accustomed to attend TakeOver when it's part of SummerSlam weekend at the Barclays Center or TakeOver Brooklyn. Keep this in mind, I've been to all 4 TakeOver Brooklyns. And this is the first time that I'm watching a TakeOver SummerSlam weekend from home, so it's different for me this time. It's very different. And I kind of missed that. Hopefully, I attend TakeOver once they're in Boston for next year's SummerSlam weekend. That is a plan. But I hope that all of you out there enjoyed yourselves watching TakeOver Toronto. I hope that you all enjoyed yourselves watching the main event of Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I am at a loss for words here. What we saw from Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano was magic. I said this in my predictions. We knew how great they were at TakeOver New York. We knew how magic they were, how they were able to make the magic happen at TakeOver 25. And now here we are, TakeOver Toronto, 2 out of 3 falls, the conclusion of this trilogy, and they just left everyone shook. Everyone, as we speak, is shook. Social media, Twitter that is, right, are just, everyone just giving crazy praises for this. People are considering this match of the year in some way, shape, or form. And I'm like, you know what? You can make the argument, if you will. But I thought overall it was a good way to conclude this trilogy. And now both men are on their own separate ways now. Especially that crazy bump at the end. Both men literally falling off the table that was literally on top of the steel cage onto the tables. The fact that they had 2 tables outside in the ring. 2 tables in the ring. And they missed one table and they hit the other table. Just shit like that. Like, holy crap. It reminded me in a way of, I guess if you want to think about it, right? It reminded me of when Foley got tossed from top of the cell to the outside and he landed on that announce table. Something in that regard it reminded me of. But again, it's just magic. Magic. And you can even say this is Gargano's send-off. But I'll get into more of that as we get into this review. Again, this is also another installment of Around the Point. Thank you all for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. Hit the bell icon, be notified whenever I upload a video. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Use the hashtag ATPoint so I know if you're going to talk to me about this on Twitter, it's regarding the video and stuff like that. So I did say I am back because early today I recorded and I uploaded the SummerSlam weekend edition of Around the Point, where I gave my thoughts on the war that's going to be taking place coming the fall once AEW is on TNT, and the news that NXT making that move to FS1, going head to head with All Elite Wrestling and how we are entering the Wednesday Night War and how people, I guess, are not picking sides and stuff like that. So if you've not checked that out yet, it's in the video archives of this channel. Give it a look-see when you get a chance. Also, because SummerSlam is tomorrow, episode 305 of the Team Hill podcast, myself, Walter, and Big Mike, we gave our SummerSlam predictions. If you have not checked that out yet, go give it a watch. It's in the video archives of this channel. Before I go any further with the SummerSlam review, with the TakeOver Toronto review, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Goddamn, SummerSlam weekend, pal. Calm the fuck down. I'll give a big thank you to the homie himself for this awesome video overlay that you see here for this review. That is the best graphic designer in the entire IWC, the one, the only, Salrex. And if you want awesome graphics, awesome overlays like you see for this podcast that you see right now, and awesome logos, because again, Salrex is responsible not just for the logo of Around the Point, but he's also responsible for the logo of the Team Hill podcast. And again, if you want awesome work done by the best graphic designer in the IWC, hit him up on Twitter at SRXGFX. Tell him that I sent you. Not only does he, does my graphic design, he also does graphic design for the likes of JD from NY206, the host of Off the Script, the Solomonster, the host of the Solomonster Sounds Off, House of Glory. House of Glory had their High Intensity 8 show literally yesterday, and I was there. It was fun. The Young Bucks versus Private Party. And so many other people. Also, Big Mike from Big Mike Wrestling Recap Show, and so on and so forth. Again, let him know that I sent you, and he'll work with you, and all that fun stuff. So, let's get into this, because again, a lot to talk about TakeOver Toronto. And I know a lot of people as well, because again, I speak dork. I know a lot of people are saying as well, because I see it. I can see all the dorks, all the soy boy warriors are saying this right now. Oh, main roster, follow that. Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins, they're fucked. They're screwed. Oh, main roster, follow that, guys. You guys are in deep doo-doo now. Again, I am trilingual. You mother flowers here, you silly gooses. So we had the first match of the show. We had the Street Profits defending the NXT Tag Team Championships versus Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era. I thought overall this was a very fun way to kick off the show. Both teams is hitting their crazy moves to one another. A lot of good near falls. There's a moment where obviously Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish were working on Angelo Dawkins. The crowd again was into this shit. They really, really were. I thought again, as far as what match should go on first, you gotta think about this too. It feels like a TakeOver tradition now. The tag team titles always kick off the show. I literally thought that the women were gonna kick off the show. That being Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. But no. And I guess it's silly me, because again, I kind of realized it now. Like, yo, it's TakeOver tradition. The tag titles always start off the show, always kick off the show. And I'll be real about it. With the Street Profits now on the main roster now, technically on Monday Night Raw, even though they haven't had a match on Raw yet or anything like that, like you see them on Raw, I literally thought that Fish and O'Reilly were gonna win back the tag titles here, and the Street Profits would make their way onto the main roster officially, if you will, right? But again, a good back and forth match. Kyle O'Reilly is amazing. So is Bobby. Angelo Dawkins is awesome as well. But Montez Ford is another guy that I feel like, again, if the Street Profits were to break up, because eventually they do. Every team breaks up eventually, and they go on singles run. I think Montez Ford is probably the standout. I think obviously he is the standout of the two. It's not a knock on Angelo Dawkins by no means at all. But if you ask me, who do I prefer out of the two, I'm gonna say Montez Ford. The guy does a suicide dive, or like a flip, if you will, into the air off the top rope onto the Undisputed Era. And you got air. You got fucking air, and people went insane. The match ends with Montez Ford hitting the frog splash. I want to say he pinned Kyle O'Reilly. But that being said, the Street Profits retained the NXT Tag Team titles here. And again, a very good way to kick off the show. The crowd was into this. And again, it's tradition. Takeovers kick off with the tag team titles. Remember that going forward, people. We also had backstage Gargano, I guess, contemplating a ladder, basically, right? You also saw in the crowd Ricochet in the crowd. Again, the alumni people. Also in the crowd was the current Evolve and WWN champion, Austin Theory. And obviously the guy looked like $1 million. You gotta keep this in mind too. Evolve has that working relationship with NXT. So there's that crossover, if you will. And you can just, you already know. Austin Theory is WWE bound. He is going to be a big time player. I tell you that, NXT. And it's funny because if you watch Evolve and you hear Austin Theory in his promo, he talks about walking into a takeover with the Evolve Championship and headlining a takeover, headlining a WrestleMania, being WWE champion. Like, he did one of them tonight. He walked into takeover. Granted, he was shown in the crowd, like every single guy that they signed eventually, right? I mean, can you imagine if they do end up signing Austin Theory and he walks into NXT with both the Evolve title and the WWE title? I doubt it. I really, really do. But there's that possibility. Just imagine that, right? How crazy that would be, right? 'Cause to my recollection, there hasn't been an Evolve champion, or in this case, a WWN champion, to have ever walked into NXT with that title. Even though he didn't have the belts with him at TakeOver. This guy, like I said before, the sky's the limit with this guy. You can just tell this guy has, I'm not saying world champion material right off the bat, no, but he's going to be a big time player the moment he steps into WWE. And it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of fucking time. We had the second match on the show. We had Io Shirai. I'm saying it right, dorks. Oh, Steve, you said it wrong. It's not Leo, it's Io. I said it right. Calm the fuck down, all right? It's Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. And I'll be real about it. Going into this match, I really didn't have that much of an expectation regarding this match. But damn, these two women tore it up. They really fucking tore it up. Just fucking amazing. There's a moment in the match where fucking Io Shirai, at the beginning of the match, suplexes Candice LeRae onto the announcer's table. And keep this in mind, usually when you see a suplex or a move on the announce table, they clear out the table and shit. No, she just suplexed the fuck out of her onto the announce table just to kick off the match. And again, just this offense on from Io Shirai to Candice LeRae. Basically though, but again, what really amazed me here, and they caught this and they really mentioned this, is the heart of Candice LeRae. And again, I know for a fact that on television, on NXT TV, Candice LeRae really wasn't able to showcase what she really can do. Anyone that's followed her career outside of NXT, you know that she can hang with the best of them. She could take a fucking beating. And if you guys thought, oh, this was fucking grueling, the fact that she took, the fucking suplex onto the fucking announce table, motherfuckers, you guys ain't seen shit. I seen Candice LeRae take a SuperKick, I want to say by Matt Jackson from the Young Bucks, when he had on a sneaker that was filled with thumbtacks. And Candice took it on, like, just head on and shit. She got SuperKicked by a shoe that had thumbtacks back in the day in PWG. So we know that, Candice can take a fucking beating. She can. And make it feel like, holy crap, it makes you want to get behind her. And that was showed here. Io Shirai had a moonsault and Candice kicked out. Io Shirai off the top rope hit a freaking Spanish fly. beautiful that is, right? And Candice kicked out, and you see in Io Shirai's face just her expression of how is this bitch kicking out of everything? Holy fuck! Candice hit off the middle rope the swinging neck breaker. She did the finisher. I forgot the name of it already, but she did this finisher. It was basically her finisher, that is, in the Mae Young Classic. But what we got from this is, hey, Candice LeRae, again, you're not going to beat her that easily. You're not. And I hope, moving forward, that Candice is able to showcase what she can truly do on television, that being on NXT TV. What we saw here tonight. All this eventually led to Io Shirai putting Candice in the Koji clutch until Candice lost consciousness. Even then, the ref had to make the break so Io can break out of the hold. Even that, again, it took Io Shirai to the point of snapping to locking in the Koji clutch and making Candice tap out. See, Candice, what she showed there as well is that, she was not going to give up. You have to literally make her pass out just to beat her. And I think that in itself, not only is it a victory for Io Shirai, but it's a victory for also Candice LeRae to show her heart, what she willing to go through. And the crowd ate all this up. They were chanting, "This is awesome." And I really didn't think people would be chanting that for a match between Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. And you know what sucked? And all this too? That Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim later on in the show had to follow that. They had to fucking follow that. And they did Shayna Baszler no fucking favors tonight. I'll say that too. I'll get into that later on in this fucking review. We were supposed to get the triple threat between Velveteen Dream, Roderick Strong, and Pete Dunne, but instead, what we got was Matt Riddle. He came out through the crowd with a mic and called out Killian Dane. As you guys remember, on NXT TV last week, or this past Wednesday, that is, right on television, they were supposed to have a match, and Killian Dane, I guess, took out Matt Riddle and attacked him, and the match never even happened. So Riddle comes out, and he's in the street clothes, and he's calling out Killian Dane to a fight. So what we got was an impromptu brawl. A fucking impromptu brawl. Dane came out to the crowd, and like I said, they brawled. A bunch of officials attempted to break it up, but the fight still went on. Riddle attacked Dane again. Dane stuck his thumb into Riddle's eye, but Riddle took him down with a series of strikes. More officials showed up, and Riddle and Dane started taking them down too. That being the security people that were there. The brawl continued until Killian Dane. I almost said Kane. I said Kane. God damn it, but it's really Killian Dane. He put Matt Riddle and one of the officials threw a table onto the floor from the top of the stage area. So basically, Killian Dane put two people through a fucking table. And what this does too is probably leads up to a match in the upcoming weeks on NXT TV. Maybe a no disqualification match or a false count anywhere, something like that. But nonetheless, it was intriguing. It was interesting. The crowd ate it up, and that's, I think, was also important here too. Hey, again, you gotta have a takeover. It'd be weird if you don't have Matt Riddle, even in some capacity, right? So there you go with that. We then get, again, the Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong match for the North American Championship, a triple threat. Before the match even happened, a bunch of dancers came out dressed as Canadian Mounties, accompanied by the theme song of the Mountie. I have not heard that theme song in years. Back to when my brother was watching wrestling years ago in the early 90s. And he would record the tapes and stuff like that, right? We are the Mounties because we something. You can join the run, but you can never hide. Something like that, right? Again, I remember some of the lyrics, not all of them, okay? So bear with me here. Then the music changed to hip-hop, and the dancers took off their Mountie, outfits to reveal the Toronto Raptors gear because, again, they're in Toronto. The Raptors won the NBA championship early on in the summer. So there you go with that. You know what? I'm not going to lie. It would have been cool to see people from the player that played in the Raptors at the show in some capacity, right? It would have been cool to even have Drake. Can you imagine if Drake would have showed up at TakeOver? Granted, most likely he'll show up tomorrow at SummerSlam. If he's even there, I don't fucking know. Man, again, it's them in the Raptors gear, and it became a celebration of the Raptors' 2019 championship win. The music changed again to Velveteen Dream's theme, and the dancers posed in a tableau of dreams and entered, and the tableau as Dream entered in a ruffled shirt and a mount he had, and they danced the Dream's theme as he made his way to the ring. So again, I thought that was pretty cool. A theme song, if you will, or something like that for someone like the Velveteen Dream. Thought that was pretty cool. We get to the match, and oh my god, I'll say this right now. I said in my prediction that I thought this would be the match of the night. This would be the match of SummerSlam weekend. These three guys are going to go out and just tear it the fuck up. Was it a good match? Yes. Was this the match of the night? No. Was this the match of SummerSlam weekend? No. And I'm okay saying that. I'm not saying it was a bad match by no means at all. I thought overall the match was good for what they were doing. A lot of the back and forth double teams on one another, the near falls. Pete Dunne did on two people at the same time. The breaking of the fingers. Roderick Strong hit the stronghold on both Velveteen Dream and Pete Dunne at the same time, but wasn't really able to connect the hold at its best. Also as well, Roddy was hitting the backbreakers on people left and right. The crowd was into it. Basically, a lot of good near falls. There's a moment in the match where Roddy hits the end of Heartache, right? He hit the end of Heartache, and it looks like he's about to win. It looks like he's about to. Keep this in mind too. There's also a moment in the match early on where Pete Dunne hits the bitter end on Roderick Strong, and Velveteen Dream has the referee distracted. Eventually, it looks like Pete Dunne's about to win the match, and the referee's going for 1, 2, and before he even hits three, Velveteen Dream stops the referee from making the 3 count. Again, everything about it I did enjoy. The crowd was into it, like I said, and then eventually, when it was all said and done, again, Roddy, it looked like he had the match won, right? He hit the end of Heartache onto Pete Dunne, and then as the referee's about to hit the pin, about to do the cover, right? Do the pin. Velveteen Dream from the top rope, when the camera wasn't watching, hits the Purple Rainmaker elbow drop onto both Roddy and Pete Dunne, and Pete Dunne gets pinned. So Velveteen Dream retains the North American Championship. Again, a very good match. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. Okay, but it was all said and done. Pete Dunne, no pun intended, got pinned, and Velveteen Dream retains, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. But again, a very good match. The crowd got into it too, like I said. We then get Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. Oh boy. This match was probably I'm not going to say it was a bad match, okay? But probably the weakest match on the card. And you know what? I feel like, again, NXT, when it comes to takeovers, right? They do not do Shayna Baszler any fucking favors at all. They really fucking don't. Let's put it this way, right? TakeOver 25. It was Io Shirai and Shayna Baszler. The match was just it was there. TakeOver New York, I believe it was the Fatal 4-Way, right? Yeah, with the Fatal 4-Way, right? It was Io Shirai, it was Shayna, it was Bianca, and I think also Candice LeRae, right? I think that was the Fatal 4-Way, right? For TakeOver New York. I could be wrong on that one. And the match wasn't bad or anything. It just felt flat, like whatever. My bad. No, it was Kairi Sane. There you go. It was Kairi Sane, goddammit. I botched there. Forgive me, okay? And that's the thing about it. If you look at Shayna's matches, right, at takeovers, they just feel flat. And I'm not saying, again, this match was bad or anything. It just felt like, okay, just there. Whatever, basically. Mia Yim had her like special entrance, if you will, with, I guess, gangsters, if you will, that were all dressed in hoodies and bandanas and shit. Mia Yim was working on Baszler's right arm for the entire match, which kept her, that being Shayna Baszler, from locking in the Kirifuda clutch. And they literally had you thinking that, oh my god, Mia Yim was going to win. I, in some regard, was thinking that. Okay, think about this too, right? The other two women of the four horsewomen weren't even there, right? Marina Shafir wasn't there, nor was Jasmine Duke. So basically, Shayna Baszler was on her own. On her fucking own. And at the last minute, again, Mia Yim was working on the arm and just pulling on the hair, fighting dirty, basically, right? And even with all of that, Shayna Baszler managed to lock in a triangle choke in the middle of the ring, where eventually Mia Yim tapped out. So all that for nothing for Mia Yim, and Shayna Baszler is still the NXT Women's Champion. I mean, I personally thought in some way that Mia might win, and then Shayna goes up to the main roster. Like, that's not happening anytime soon. I think it'll happen eventually. It's just not going to happen right now. It just really isn't. Keep this in mind, in a couple of weeks is TakeOver, NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. So they had in the crowd Walter and Tyler Bate. They were shown in the crowd. Yeah, keep this in mind. The main event of that show is Walter defending the NXT UK Championship. Oh, I'm sorry, the WWE United Kingdom Championship versus Tyler Bate. There you go with that. We then get the main event of the evening. Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I said early on in the review in the podcast that it was a fucking, just, again, an amazing match. I'm just lost for words. I thought for a second that Adam Cole was going to repeat his entrance with the dude from WrestleFlow, Josiah Williams. And it didn't happen. Fine. It is what it is. But, again, everything about this match was just fucking, like, insane, right? It took them forever to get the first fall in. To where eventually, again, the first fall was a regular wrestling match chosen by Adam Cole. Gargano chose the second fall being a street fight. And in the third fall, chosen by William Regal, it was announced early in the day that it was going to be a steel cage match with weapons inside the cage in a barbed wire on top of the cage. Wow. Just think about that for a second, right? And it took forever to get the first fall. It took fucking forever. And that's not a bad thing, okay, at times, okay? Sometimes I see 2 out of 3 fall matches, and it takes forever with the first fall, and it's all some bullshit, basically, right? But they made it work, right? They made it fucking work, which, the whole time in the first fall, Adam Cole brought a steel chair into the ring. And the referee was telling Cole, hey, listen, I'll disqualify you if you hit Johnny with the chair. To which then eventually Gargano grabbed the same steel chair and willingly took the DQ loss when he attacked Adam Cole with the chair shot that Cole had previously brought into the ring. The second fall was a street fight, to which Cole, again, before that, was getting attacked by the steel chair. They fight into the crowd, right? They're brawling in the crowd. Keep this in mind too. Gargano paid tribute to Wolverine with his attire. There you go with that one. But eventually, again, just a crazy back and forth, if you will, on the second fall. But eventually, it was all said and done. Adam Cole tapped out, right, to the Gargano escape. Basically. So we're tied to a piece. We go to the third fall. The steel cage. There's weapons on top of the cage. There's a ladder. And at first I thought a glass table, but it really wasn't. It looked like it was, but it was not. After you watch it later on, right? In the cage, right? And these two guys are just going at it. There's a moment in the match where Adam Cole hits not just one but two Canadian destroyers, right? I guess he called the Panama Escape. That's what he's calling it, right? Or basically the fucking Canadian destroyer, right? Not once but twice on Gargano, and still got near falls. Just back and forth. The crowd was insane for this shit. Yeah, Nigel McGuinness on commentary just wanting these two guys to stop the violence and to end this already, right? And there's a moment where you worry, like, holy crap, these guys are going way overboard for this shit. And there's a moment, like near the end of the match almost, right? Near the end of the match. Oh, obviously, also, by the way, it's a moment where Gargano grabs the sledgehammer to no avail because eventually he got super kicked. But the ending of the match is just insane. Fucking insane. I would put it up there with, again, Mick Foley and Undertaker, King of the Ring 98. Believe it or not, I'll put it up there too with Kevin Steen and El Generico, Final Battle 2012. When Steen did the package pile driver on Generico on the ladder when they had the two ladders just bridged up, whatever. But they have two tables in the ring, right? They have them lined up, right, if you will. And they're on top of the cage. They're on the platform, right? This is a table that was set up as a platform. And Gargano has a barbed wire wrapped around his hand, which you know what they're going to do. You know what he was trying to do with that, right? And they're hitting each other. They're hitting each other just back and forth on top of the cage on this platform to where eventually Adam Cole and Gargano, they both fall and they land on the two tables. They missed the first table, but they hit the second table. And it was insane. It felt like a fucking car crash. Just, God damn it. But eventually, Adam Cole managed to get the cover and pin Johnny Gargano for the 1-2-3. And Johnny Gargano remains the NXT champion, as it should have been. And I was happy with that. Keep this in mind, too. The crowd was pro Adam Cole. Pro Adam fucking Cole. They're just insane, too. So now, again, the question is, where does Adam Cole go from here in NXT? Who would be next in line? I would probably say, I guess the winner of Riddle and Killian Dane, which at the same time make no sense at all. I guess eventually when Ciampa's ready to return, I guess you do an Adam Cole Tommaso Ciampa program. Maybe that one too. But we'll see. But as far as Johnny Gargano is concerned, like, what else is there for him to do at NXT right now? The guy did everything. Think about that for a second. The guy has done everything in NXT. The first Triple Crown champion, right? Being the tag team champion with DIY, the North American champion, and the NXT champion. He's main evented a shitload of takeovers. A shitload of fucking takeovers he's main evented. He's had not one, but two of the best, I guess, sagas or programs, if you will, in NXT. With both Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole. Honestly, me though, I would prefer the Ciampa feud over the Cole feud, but that's not a knock on the Adam Cole feud as well. It's not a knock on that. And all that, and now what's next for him? What do you have him do in NXT? I think it's time for him to make the move to the main roster. And you have him headline 205 Live and take the Cruiserweight Championship from either Drew Gulak or Oney Lorcan. I'm kidding. I don't fucking know. I would say SmackDown, but that's just me, of course. But we'll see. We will see. I know the people that are fearing the fact of, oh my God, Johnny Gargano going to the main roster. Oh my God, hell fucking no. But eventually it's going to happen. We can't expect Gargano to be a lifer in NXT. Overall, like I said, I thought TakeOver Toronto was an enjoyable show. I enjoyed it for what it was. But again, it wasn't like the same way of a TakeOver New York or TakeOver 25 or TakeOver Chicago or anything like that. Again, it's not a knock on TakeOver Toronto. It's just not a TakeOver that I'm going to go back and watch down the line. Maybe if anything, just a giant Gargano Adam Cole match. But other than that, that's my take on the show. Guys, give me your thoughts on TakeOver Toronto. Did you enjoy the show or not? Let me know in the comment threads, or if not, let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. You can follow me there. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like I said early on today, I did record a SummerSlam weekend edition, if you will, of Around the Point, where I gave my thoughts on the war coming this fall, the Wednesday night war between AEW and NXT, as NXT is moving to FS1, going head-to-head with AEW, which will be on TNT on the same time, Wednesday, sometime in the fall. And all that fun stuff. And if you've not checked that out, go give it a watch. It's in the video archive of this channel. Also, myself, Big Mike, and Walter, we did our predictions of SummerSlam on episode 305 of the Team Heel podcast. So if you have not given that a watch yet as well, it's in the video archive of this channel. Tomorrow, god damn it, it's SummerSlam Sunday. Tomorrow there will be a Wrestle Companion where myself and Big Mike will be doing a live reaction to SummerSlam and what's going to go down with that all 5 hours. God help us all. And after that, I will be doing a review. Likely that will be live. So again, if you're not yet subbed to the channel, what the fuck are you waiting for? Hit the sub button, hit the bell icon, be notified whenever I upload a video, whenever I go live, and all that fun stuff. I want to give a big thank you to the homie himself, Salrex, for this awesome video overlay that you see right here. And if you want awesome graphics and overlays and logos done for your YouTube channel, your podcast, hit the man up on Twitter right now. That's at SRXGFX. Tell him that I sent you. Not only does he is responsible for the graphic designs on my channel, but also he does graphic designs for JD from NY206, the Solid Monster from the Solid Monster Sounds Off, House of Glory, Big Mike from Big Mike Wrestling Recap Show, and so many other people. I am blessed to have Salrex on my team, arguably the best graphic designer in the IWC. It is getting late. I'm tired, but it's SummerSlam Sunday, and I have yet to watch Season 3 of Glow, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch that right now, start binge watching and all that stuff. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow for what is SummerSlam Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Around the Point. Good night, dorks.
Oh, but Steve, how dare you say that about TakeOver Toronto? And it's not Leo, it's Eo. Wow, Steve, what does that mean? Special companion, Steve, and follow that man, roster.
Shut up, you dorks. Go to sleep.